The evil eye. I was going through what I thought was a depression because I lost a family member. But I understood after 2-3 years, I'm like, listen, I know the person's never coming back. Life is hard. God designed us. We're all going to die. Like, that's a reality of life. It's not normal for me to still be in this state. I was suffering at one point in my life from the worst anxiety ever. It felt like I literally had a ton of bricks on my chest that would never come off, bro. Okay? I went from being extremely extroverted as I am in my state like this, like talk to everyone. When you go on my Instagram, you'll see me with every celebrity in the world. They'll probably watch this episode and hit fucking unfollow.
King of the nightlife.
Yeah. They're probably going to watch this episode and be like, okay, we got to unfollow this guy. I can't be seen in public with this guy anymore. Thanks, Dan. So, like, I'm connected to so many powerful people. I'm one away from people you can't even imagine. Some of the names I don't even want to mention. I know what's coming for humanity. Trust me when I tell you. Okay? And what happened to me was I had this anxiety that would not go away. It was really bad. I had a fear not to even leave my home. I just wanted to stay in my house. I became a hermit, bro, which is like so not like me. I was literally staying in my man cave and playing Xbox so I wouldn't lose my mind because I thought I was suffering from a depression from the loss of a loved one. I had lost my sexual appetite. I had a cloudiness. I could not talk like this, bro. I went from someone that was able to speak in front of large crowds, no fear, give a speech in front of a stadium, no problem, to I just could not articulate the way I articulate now. Very foggy-minded. I would cry for no reason. Like just always in a state of complete sorrow. Very dark, bro. I would fight with those closest to me for no reason. Like argue with my mom, my dad for no reason whatsoever. They didn't even do anything wrong. And it was like a rage that I could not control. And they would leave and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Like, why did I act like this, right? And just a real fear of to even go outside and deal with anyone. And a constant state of paranoia, fear, depression, all that stuff. After a couple of years of like living like this, literally living in sorrow, bro, such a sorrow, I understood for the first time why people committed suicide. I didn't have those thoughts, but I understood why, because this feeling is such a hopeless feeling. I believe this phenomenon is what they call the evil eye. I believe many of these public people that die are dying from this. The Prophet Muhammad was quoted as stating, half the people in the grave are there from the evil eye. That's one of his quotes from the hadith, the traditions of what he said, not the Quran, the hadith. It exists in all three religions. Now, I go to every doctor on earth, okay? And I will never speak against mental therapy, like psychologists, because I do believe that it has its place and there's people that need help and that stuff does work. This is for those people that have tried all of that and nothing's working. I hope you're listening. I hope you're paying attention. I go first to physical doctor. Let me check everything. Let me check my blood. Let me see. Maybe I'm missing a hormone. Like, right. I got to be able to get back up. You know, like this doesn't make sense. I was smart enough to know, I'm like, this doesn't make sense for me to still be in this state. And I do worship God and I do pray to God. And I try to be optimistic. And I understand that life is a trial and tribulation. That the world is not designed for us to all be happy, bro. It's not. Because then it wouldn't be a test. So I go to all these doctors, make the story short, they check everything, my minerals, my vitamin, everything is normal. Then the one doctor says you should go see a endocrinologist or whatever, the one that checks your balls, right? Your male anatomy.
Yeah.
I go to this doctor's office, bro, and I'm the youngest guy in there, man. I'm like embarrassed I'm even walking into this.
How old were you?
This is like maybe 34 years old. It's going to be 10 years since I lost a loved one in October. I go into this office, but everyone's like 70, 80. I'm young, you know, and I'm like, man, this is like embarrassing. I'm embarrassed. I go, the doctor was kind of hot, I'm not going to lie. She was like this beautiful doctor with a mini skirt with it, and she's like, she's a specialist, right? And like, we have to sit there and talk about my private part, bro.
Yeah.
Do you have this? Do you have that? Well, I'm like, no. She's like, does it work? I'm like, yeah. I said, but I just don't really have a desire to really do anything, you know? She's like,
no libido.
Yeah. She's like, I'm going to check your testosterone level. She checked everything. She's like, everything's fine. I'm like, this can't be like this. Where is this coming from then? Because the whole time I'm like, this can't be in my mind, right? She's like, at this point, sir, I'm going to recommend you go see a psychiatrist. That was like devastating for me to hear this, right? I'm like, no, I know I'm not crazy. If this is all in my mind, that I'm gonna beat this thing. Maybe this is what a real depression's like, right? Again, bricks on the chest, anxiety through the roof, bro. Overwhelming anxiety, a fear of going outside, cloudiness of the mind, loss of sexual desire, fighting with those closest to me for no reason. Nothing's getting better. I'm praying, I'm trying everything, nothing's working. I go to visit my childhood friend. She's like my spiritual mother. Genius woman. She had a very high position in the Department of Buildings in New York. I will not mention her name. I've known her since I was a child. She's of Egyptian descent. This woman is an amazing woman. She's a genius. She's such a beautiful human being that just when I think of her, sometimes I break down. She's done so much for me in my life. I go to see her, not for my problem, Danny. I go to see her because she had lost her brother and it was the holiday. So I go to pay respects to her. I didn't go there to tell her my problems. So I go see her and I'm like, Miss So-and-so, I'm so sorry you lost your brother and blah, blah, blah. And then she gets to asking me like, how are you doing? And when she asked me how I was doing, I couldn't hold it in, bro. I just start sobbing. I start crying. And I'm like, Miss, so-and-so, if I didn't believe in God and I didn't have children, I don't want to live no more. That's the way I felt. I just don't want to feel like this no more. Like, I'm sobbing. She's like, very calmly, what's wrong? What's wrong? What are you feeling? I'm like, this is what I'm feeling. I gave her all the symptoms I gave you, right? Everything I told you that I was feeling, I explained it to her. She goes, I know what's wrong with you. I go, you know what's wrong with me? I said, I just went to every doctor in the world. They're all telling me that I should go see a psychiatrist. I'm probably losing my mind. She goes, no, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and then we'll see if that's what you have. I'm like, listen, you're one of the smartest people I know. I mean, she literally wrote like the entire construction code for the city. Like, she's a genius. And I've known her my whole life. And it's like one of the sweetest, like when you just see her, she has something that's known as like the light of God on her. Like, just, you meet these people. I've seen Christians like that. I've seen Jews like that. I've seen Muslims like that. People that are like connected to source. They're vibrating high, as they say. Just so calm and so peaceful, bro. Like, I yearn to be like them. I've only been like that a few times in my life, where I've reached what I felt like a level of nirvana or an understanding of, but I was doing what I'm supposed to do, right? Not following my desires. She goes to me, are you public? She doesn't know about my public, like my public life. She only knows me as her son's friend. She doesn't follow Instagram, any of that. Right. She goes, are you public? I go, yes, I am public. Do you post on social media? Do you post your life, what you're eating, where you're traveling? I go, yes. She goes, do you ever think about the people that don't have what you have? I'm like, sometimes. I said, actually not sometimes. I said, a lot of times I feel bad. She's like, when you're posting, you're attracting the eye. She's like, you have the evil eye on you. And you have all the symptoms of it. I go, so wait, Miss Amber. I said, but how can the evil eye be on me? I pray. I say, I worship God. I perform ablution. I baptize. I pray. I worship God. Am I not protected? She goes, anyone can be hit by the evil eye. Even the prophet was put under black magic and he had to get out of it, right? In the religion. A spell was cast on him. So these things exist in these faiths, and people don't talk about it. It's like swept under the rug, like, oh, this is crazy stuff to talk about. I'm so desperate. I'm willing to do anything at this point, brother. The way I felt, I'm telling you, most people would have killed themselves. If I wasn't as strong-willed as I was, I probably wouldn't be here today. I finally understand why all these celebrities are dying, bro, and people that are influencers. And I meet women with millions of followers, bro, and they seem happy on their Instagram. Bro, they're suicidal in real life, bro. They talk about killing themselves every fucking day. She goes to me, this is real simple. You've been posting, people are seeing your posts. There's people out there that just don't like you, brother, or they want what you have. They don't do it to you on purpose. But it's a phenomenon of this world and this dimension, and this is what happens. She's like, all you got to do is go home, take a gallon of water. You can pull this up on YouTube. It's a scientific fact, by the way. Take the gallon of water, mention God's name, blow into the water, pray into the water, charge the water, basically make holy water. Go home, take this water, drink some of it, and then pour the rest over your body and ask God to cleanse you and protect you from the demonic realm. I'm like, Miss Amber, at this, oh, sorry, strike her name, please.
Okay.
I'm like, Miss, at this point, I'm so desperate. I've tried everything else. This sorrow is destroying my life. I'll do it. I go home, I take the water, I say the prayers. Even as I'm making the water, I hear a voice in my own mind that sounds like it's my thought, but I know it's not me. Because they can do what? Telepathy. They can inspire thought. You think it's yours, it's not. They do inception in us, bro. And people listen to those thoughts. I don't know what took over me. It's that rage that comes out of nowhere. You listen to these thoughts because they inspire thought into our mind. And he goes, how are you wasting your time with that? I said, yo, these motherfuckers are real demons. I charge the water. I say the prayers. I make intention. Intention is very important. Nia, as they call it. Mm-hmm. I charge the water in the name of God. I ask for his protection, his help, his cleansing from the demonic realm, from Shaitan, Satan. I drink the water. I cleanse. I purify. All of a sudden, Danny, I swear to God, I shit you not, bro. The cloudiness in my mind, instantly gone. I'm sharp. The bricks on my chest, the anxiety gone. Sexual drive through the roof. Everything back. Instantly, I said, what the fuck just happened to me? How do I explain this to people without them thinking I've lost my mind? I went to every doctor in the world, the same way Michael Jackson did, the same way Robin Williams did. They had the best therapist in the world, bro. But they couldn't save them because what they were suffering from wasn't physical or mental. Yes, there's mental illness. Yes, there's physical illness. But there's also spiritual disease. And if you're trying to cure your soul with a physical remedy, it will not work. So a lot of these people that are dying, when you're that famous, there's no way the eye doesn't go on you. This is why so many celebrities do drugs to numb the pain. They take psychotropic drugs that are not working because if they work, they would become normal again. They can't. It's a spiritual disease. They're under demonic attack, which is what the evil eye is, to bring them to a point of such sorrow that they kill themselves because there's nothing more that realm loves, that the evil ones of them, remember they're not all evil, than a human being taking their own life.